Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. I was at the midnight release of Nintendo Switch here in Poland in my local gaming store. And it was a really cool experience. I would say there was more people than I expected. It was my first time being on a midnight release. And here we are, it's almost 2 AM. Let's do this. Let's do a small unboxing of the Nintendo Switch 2. Oh, and by the way, I got this balloon from them. And I also got some posters. So like Mario Kart posters, I guess. And from what I can see, a Nintendo Switch 2 t-shirt. So that's really cool, it's like a bonus. I did not expect it, but I know you're here for this, the Nintendo Switch 2. But also I got the Pro Controller. So let's unbox really quickly these two things. Let's see how they are and how they stack up to Nintendo Switch OLED, which I have behind me. But overall, yeah, the boxes, first impression, they're literally much smaller than I expected. If I remember correctly, the Nintendo Switch 1 when I originally got it at launch, or just right after launch, and the Pro Controller when I had it, those boxes were definitely much bigger. They're much smaller. It's just cool to see that they're a little bit different, a little bit smaller, while they're a bigger console. So let's see. Let's first open up the Nintendo Switch, and then I'm gonna go to the Pro Controller. Okay, so Nintendo Switch 2, as you can see, the Mario Kart edition, and let's see what we have. When we open it up, and then we have another box. So this is like a box in a box. Okay, so from what I see, this is just a normal box, and this one is to show that it's with the Mario Kart world. So let's put this to the side. And now this is even smaller, but it's kind of reminiscent of the Nintendo Switch OLED box. But it's really cool, it's not too big. Let's see what we have when we open this one up. From what I can see, this is the Nintendo Switch Oh, I almost said OLED. The Nintendo Switch 2 is definitely much bigger. I would say it's definitely much bigger than I thought in person. And the Joy-Cons are bigger, but the screen itself, like the main unit, definitely feels much bigger when I look at it on the box. So it's really cool, really nice. And yeah, it's pretty big. It's much bigger than I expected. But let's open it up. Let's see how it is. So first off, I'm going to take out the screen itself. So first time touching the Nintendo Switch 2. Just a fun fact, the Nintendo Switch 1, I got it a little bit after release, and it was back when I, only had one console. I sold my PS4 for it, and here I am. Now I have a channel about gaming, I have all the consoles, all the handhelds, so it's pretty cool how things have gone throughout those years. Definitely, the first thing I have to say, it definitely feels, it doesn't feel too heavy. It doesn't feel as heavy as I expected it to be. It's not as heavy as I thought, but the screen itself is definitely much bigger. Let me get the Nintendo Switch 1 so you can see it. It's not going to be as good of a comparison as others have, as it's not a Nintendo Switch normal, it's the OLED model. And now we can compare the Nintendo Switch OLED and the Nintendo Switch 2. If we look on this side, it is definitely a bigger of the two. In person, it feels much bigger than I think even on video is going to show. And let's see the kickstand. Yeah, it's definitely an improvement. It's definitely it really feels like a next generation, and feels like a better built product, especially compared to the first one. It doesn't have as much of an upgrade if you are coming from the OLED in terms of just the build quality, but overall it feels really surreal to have it. Now, let's get the Joy-Cons out of the plastic. So this is one, and this is gonna be the second one. And these are the two new Joy-Cons that we have. They are definitely an improvement once again. The first thing I would say is they're bigger and they feel better in hand just because they're bigger. So I guess for many people, they're gonna be better. I feel like they click better, the clicks of the buttons. Yeah, overall they're pretty similar, just more ergonomic in a way because they're not as pointy as the other ones and they're bigger. But there's one thing that I noticed right away compared to the first one that I didn't see too many people talk about is the improvement on the analog. The analog is bigger in a sense that there is more travel to it. One thing that I didn't like about the Nintendo Switch 1 is the analogs weren't too good for games where you wanted to aim or just look around. This is definitely a better one. There's just more travel to it. There's more that you can be a little bit more precise. There's a little bit more area to travel with the Joy-Con. But other than that, they feel phenomenal. So let's put them on the console. Let's see how it looks. And now let's just see how this works. Okay, that is satisfying, and that is much better. Let's get the second one out of the way really quickly. Okay, works magnetically. Okay, this is definitely much bigger than the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch OLED. I would say it feels better in hand. It's not going to be the same level of comfort like Steam Deck OLED because there is no ergonomics to the back of it, but at the same time it's more, I would say, travel friendly in that way, and it definitely feels an improvement over the stock Nintendo Switch and the Switch OLED because there is no rails, it's not moving anywhere, it's much more fixed in place. So it's definitely a better product in my opinion. You can definitely feel the evolution, the corrections that they have for it. I cannot wait to test out the games, how they are compared to the Nintendo Switch OLED. Like the update for ARMS, Fortnite New Edition, and also things like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And Zelda Tears of the Kingdom that I didn't finish because I was over the inconsistency of the game, and I cannot wait to continue it again on a better device. Now into the second compartment. Okay, so now we have the Mario Kart, the cables, and we have the straps for the controllers, and they're definitely nice, and I know they're made for the mouse control, and you can definitely see the way they're made so that they smoothly glide on the surface. We have a nice HDMI cable, which is finally higher quality, and it's ultra certified cable, so that's really nice. There's actually a lot more than I thought. I forgot that we have a dock. So this time, in terms of power brick, it seems like we are having like it looks like a smartphone power brick, and yeah, that is pretty much it. It's a smartphone brick, essentially, with a USB-C, so that's a nice choice. We also have the USB-C to USB-C cable, so for charging. Then what do we have here? Oh, this is also new. This is the grip for the Joy-Cons, and it feels different to hold because there's no rails to it. And now let's see how they work on this. So it should be, once again, just a click. Yes, one click. And then this second one should click into place. Super easy, super fast. Okay, this definitely is an upgrade. I feel like this is definitely an upgrade, and I feel like for many, this is gonna be more than enough. I don't feel like it's something that isn't, it just feels better because it's taller. The Joy-Cons are taller, making this just more comfortable in hand. I definitely can see myself playing like this and still being super happy with it. It's definitely an upgrade because of the size of the Joy-Cons. While I do wish it was, you know, more like a Pro controller, I feel like it definitely is a upgrade which just feels good in hand. It definitely feels like a better one. I just feel like I wish my hands were a little bit like right here. But other than that, definitely a huge upgrade and works nicely. And last but not least, in the box, we have the new dock. It's definitely a bigger dock. It's definitely a longer in terms of size, and it's glossy on the inside, but matte on the outside. That is going to be cool. That is really nice because it is not going to be as scratchy. So that should be nice. And how do we open this up? Then we have the back panel for the HDMI and adapter, and it definitely is a better dock. It definitely feels like a more solid, more thought out dock, with even the bottom having the holes for the system to be cooled down. We have the vents on the top. There's a little bit more to it. Definitely feels like a better one of the two. And one thing I can highly recommend you get for the Nintendo Switch 2, which I actually got today, is subscriptions for the Nintendo Switch Online, or the expanded version with the expansion pack. And if you want to save up on that, check out Instant Gaming. While they are a partner of this channel, I have to say that once again I was able to save up a little bit of money thanks to Instant Gaming, where you can find great deals on the subscriptions for the Nintendo Switch. If you're interested in that, check out the link down below. And also, if you're interested in a giveaway, together with Instant Gaming, we're doing a giveaway where one of you can win one game of your choice every month. So if you're interested in a giveaway, check out the link down below. Now really quickly, let's go over to the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. I had the one for the Nintendo Switch 1, but when I was selling the original model that I had for a couple of years, and before I had the OLED, I sold it with the console, and I never really got it again because I just didn't feel like I'm playing enough, especially on a TV. There was the problem having a 4K 120 Hz display that is 50-inch, sitting so close to it, and then playing games that are not even 720p. So it just wasn't the best experience, so I didn't really see the point of getting it. I would normally just use the Switch as a portable console. But now this makes sense, so let's see how it is, especially compared to the last model. So in the box we have the USB-A to USB-C out of the way, and we have the new Pro controller. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I thought it's gonna be bigger, but it doesn't feel bad in hand. It actually feels pretty good, but Maybe I'm used to having the PlayStation controllers, which are even bigger than Xbox controllers, but this definitely feels smaller in hand than I expected. But like I said, I was not used to it, and it definitely feels like a different controller than the first one. I thought it's gonna be more similar to the first one, and while the buttons and the layout is pretty much the same, the buttons are really nice. I have to say the buttons on the back are really nice, and overall it's a nice controller. I have to say it's cool. It has the back buttons, which is nice. I really like to have back buttons. Oh, those are actually really nice back buttons, and they're right position on where your middle finger should be. So they're really ergonomically well placed. And yeah, and we have the audio jack on the bottom. So it's really nice, a nice addition. It looks nice, feels really nice in hand. There is a different texture to it than it was on the first iteration, but other than that, it feels really solid, really cool. But it's, like I said, I feel like it's smaller than I expected it to be, but it's still cool. And I cannot wait to play like Zelda on the big screen finally, with a better resolution, better frame rates, and with a Pro controller. This should be fun. And now that you thought it's the end of the video, I have another box of things to unbox. But if you want to see the unboxing of these accessories for the Nintendo Switch 2, and by the way, this is a super cool box that we have from JSOX. You know what? I actually had it for some time now. I just didn't show you because I was waiting for the console. This was sitting and I did not open it because I wanted to wait until the console arrives. If you're interested in this unboxing, check out the video in the top right corner of the screen right now. It's going to be here. And when it's uploaded, it's going to be here. And you can watch the unboxing of some of the best accessories you can get for your Nintendo Switch 2. This should be fun. Let's get into another unboxing. And once we are done with all the unboxing, we can actually get to proper testing of the console. And by testing, I mean just playing, having fun, professional testing of the console. But let's be honest, it's time to play. So that is gonna be it for this video. If you have any questions about the Nintendo Switch 2, let me know in the comment section down below. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I'll see you next time.